Welcome back to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I am the Clydesdale. I'm your host. We love to do fitness, and these are our friends. And probably more than any other guest, these are our friends. Got my co-host Amy with me, and Justin and Ashley Cotler, who we love dearly and always love to get to catch up with. So welcome on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm excited because this is my first show with Amy.
Yes, it is.
Cat.
Yeah. We try to change it up.
I've been lucky to be on with everybody. So
you have.
Yeah.
I adore all of you.
Well, I got to get one thing out of the way. How stupid did Aaron Rodgers look coming to camp looking like Nicolas Cage from Con Air?
I mean, his hair has been terrible now for the last few seasons. It's terrible. I don't know what he's doing.
He looks homeless.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. I feel like some people can get away with that. He's not one of them.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like certain people have certain faces. They can just do whatever, like Brad Pitt.
I think you're talking about Con Porter.
Con Porter. There you go. Another one. Yes, for sure. I agree. But Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
So here, you guys can help us.
I just had to get that off my chest.
You guys can help us settle this fight. This was the fight we were getting into before because I said, I'm going to ask them about this.
Okay.
So, Justin, you were at semifinals when Ashley was out buying your new house.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to be in Madison when she's moving into the new house?
No. Luckily,
okay.
The house closes on the 16th, so I'll be back. Yes.
I was going to say, Ashley's going to need a big old present for that.
I still, even though he'll be here physically, I'm still anticipating minimal help. So that's what my mom's coming. I've got things all arranged.
I got to have my boys back.
Thank you.
He has his talents.
These dates have been known for a very long time. You know that this is the busy season.
Sure.
That's when you decided to buy a house.
Hey,
that's on you.
Scott, life doesn't stop because of work.
This is a very stressful time. The good news is that she kind of understands that my brain is fried. And then add on everything else with living like gypsies and the kids not being in school. And oh my gosh.
Off of their schedules. So they're just monsters right now.
Yeah.
So actually, there's a little part of me looking forward to him being gone at the games because it'll just be me with the kids and I'll be able to get them back on schedule, get them launched into school. Once they're in school, I've got everything lined up. It's settled into my house. My mom's coming on the 18th. She's literally Mary Poppins. So I expect by the 20th we'll be fully ready for guests.
That's amazing.
She is 100% Mary Poppins.
It's amazing.
I love it.
So I got to meet your mom. She had dinner with us that night. And I think she was baking cookies with the kids the night I was there.
In both arms and clean the house and it's done by like 10 a.m. And then you're like, what now?
She came and visited us in New York one time. Wow. I think he was gone somewhere. And I literally had to run to the gym to train 2 personal clients. In those 2 hours, I came back and she legit had like 4 loads of laundry done, washed, put away, pea soup done, like an apple pie cooking, both kids like fully dressed, bathed, happy, and like the house immaculate. I was like, I don't even know how you do this in 2 hours. But yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's awesome.
She is awesome.
She's great.
What is her going rate?
I get her.
Yeah.
Are you guys both going to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. When you get there?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're actually riding together. That has been a bone of contention.
Yes. We're already fighting about what we're going to take, what kind of fitness equipment we are taking.
What car we're taking. Mm-hmm. So just so you guys know, we live like, 2 miles from each other?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Is Kat
and I haven't seen her in person in forever.
Yeah. Kat's going. Yeah.
Wow. You guys are going to be very well represented.
Well, you don't have to worry about bringing equipment or doing anything on Thursday of the games because you're going to be heading over to CrossFit Connects, and that's where they're going to be doing the gym takeover.
Yeah, we're doing the Underdogs is doing the tier takeover at Connex. We're going to be coaching classes all day.
Yes, I'm in.
So
Yeah.
I'll be there in the
classes.
afternoon. Free classes.
Okay.
Jared, Kiefer, I think even Tommy. We're going to try to get Tommy out to coach a class. So we'll be there all day.
Nice.
So, wow. And we actually have a fourth person coming with us, which I wanted to talk to you guys about because she's new. She's going to be doing our social media at the games. She actually works for Call It Casey.
Really?
Wow.
Well, that's awesome.
She's coached by her.
Cool. What's her name?
Her name is Jessie Kuhlman.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
So small world.
Look forward to meeting her. There you go.
Yeah. We've never met in person. Amy actually, she made a plea on TikTok that she wanted to go to the games as media. We need to up our social media game. She is very good in that regard.
Great.
That's awesome.
If you're wondering if I'm in my mid-40s and I watch TikTok, the answer is yes. Okay? It might bring some joy to my life, and I'm totally okay with that.
I have to be honest, I have never watched TikTok.
But do you watch Instagram Reels? Because it's the same thing.
Mostly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the more mature way.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
And Amy is not that.
That's okay.
But anyway, she put a plea out. We reached out to her, and she's actually represented by Benji, who represents Alex.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, like, just total small world.
Aw. Love that.
So,
Take it, Matt. He's taking. Calm down.
That's awesome.
So the house, how excited are you? You moved to Vegas, 2 years ago? Didn't even know it was going to be your permanent home. 2 years later, you realize this is where you guys were meant to be.
Yeah, we love it.
So what is it about Vegas that Ashley texts everybody that they need to come do?
I mean, listen, my track record for getting people out here is incredibly high. So Vegas speaks a lot for itself when people come out here. And I mean, for us, like, I was born and raised in Wisconsin and then New York. So being able to enjoy being outside year round is awesome and totally life-changing. Like, I never realized how happy palm trees make me, and also just being outside in the sun. Like, if we have, I think like the worst 2 months have actually, the last 2 years have been like March, April, because it's cooler and windy. And when it's windy, you can't really, it's not enjoyable to be outside. And so I think like, it's like 3 or 4 days go by where you're not outside, and you're just like it's weird, because I feel like in Wisconsin you would just go like weeks on end without going outside because it's snowing.
Yeah.
And here it's
so
like
gray.
2 days go by. Like, he went to Nashville and was complaining about the fact that it was crappy
Knoxville.
weather. Or Knoxville, that's right.
Yeah. Well, it was overcast the whole week, and I got so grumpy by like day 5. I was just like, what's going on? This sucks. I was so aggravated. And then, but every semi I went to, it was like there, then Minnesota, and then Montreal. It was like this. Montreal was cold and raining, and I was like, this is unacceptable. This is why I got out of the Northeast.
So the weather's huge. Also, like, it was a major unexpected surprise when we got out here to realize there was so much more life outside of the Strip. Vegas has been doing like unbelievable things with just like really super fun, transient, like family friendly seasonal things. Like, they've got like these fun little pumpkin patches that pop up everywhere, and a little amusement park rides, and
it's her thing.
all that, like just well, but it's good family stuff.
Yeah.
Put ice rinks in. Like, how fun is it going ice skating in like 60 degrees in the sunlight, where you're wearing literally like a sports bra and long pants?
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine.
you're ice skating, and it's awesome. Like, rather than growing up wearing 8,000 layers and only could see your eyes and still was terrible.
I love it because Red Rock Canyon, Mount Charleston, like the mountains, you've got all these outdoor activities, hiking, etc. It's a phenomenal place to come and train. You're training at elevation, 2,500 feet, but then you can go to Mount Charleston and train at 8,000 feet if you want to. So it's just a phenomenal place overall.
Ease and accessibility too to like stores, restaurants. Like, we lived in New York City I was there for 14 years. He was there for 20. So, like we like to get dressed up and go out for a nice dinner. And so if we want to do that and go to a show and go to a restaurant, you've got kind of like a fun city life that does not make us miss New York, because there's great restaurants, there's fun entertainment, and it's so much easier to get to. Like, get in the car, 15 minutes, park, go to a hockey game, get back in your car, you're home in 15 minutes. Whereas like, New York, like the cost of just getting into the city, driving, and I mean, the ease and accessibility to things is awesome. And then I think like as the kids grow, what's going to be really fun is just like exploring the whole West, because we've just never been out West really. Mm-hmm. So to be able to go explore Colorado and Idaho and he's screaming. California, like to be able to explore all these places and stuff coming up is just going to be awesome too.
Oh yeah.
So I got to ask, you guys spend a lot of time in your backyard.
Yes.
At the old house. What kind of setup do you have at the new place?
So the new place, because it is a new place, it's literally just a huge rectangle of dirt right now. And so we can kind of landscape it however we want. And I am not good at visually seeing spaces until stuff is actually there. So if anyone has suggestions or landscape help, I mean, obviously we have very active kids, so we want like as much turf space as possible for them to like run around on. So yeah, I think the goal is to like get moved in, settled in. I think we're going to move our gym into the garage instead of the backyard, so that takes up a little less space. And then, figure out where we want the grill, where we want to settle and live, and then pretty much turf out the whole rest of it.
Well, and Ivy's gymnastics equipment will need to be.
Of course, although we did get in trouble for that.
Oh.
They did say that, listen, she's 5 years old and she's already training 12 hours a week. They're like, that's enough gymnastics.
Yeah, they don't want her to
do gymnastics at home.
Got it. Okay.
I don't really know how to spot her. I don't know how to, so it is true. Like as she gets, she's already far better than I am. So it's good that I let the professionals handle it.
Sure.
But she can jump around on it for a little while longer, but I think if she keeps going down the rabbit hole, she's going down.
She's starting to do things that are too big for not having professional matting.
Sure.
Yeah. Like they let her go the other day, and they were pretty much working on their giants, which is the swing all the way around.
Okay.
And she can't do that on her little bar.
No. Yeah. No. And next thing you know, Jax will try it, and it'll be.
I thought he was coming.
No, he's good. Yeah. He's good.
So.
So a serious question just for a second. With all the travel that Justin's had to do and is going to have to do, how do you as a couple deal with that? And how do you reconnect as a family when this busy time is over?
So
buy a house.
Yeah. The house has been my dream for a very long time. So I think just like once we get in and get settled, we'll find our new groove and then really be able to like kind of propel and rocket ourselves toward next future. And I think, we're working together 24/7. So I do think like a big part of our bonding is, like getting excited about next season and coming and kind of like brainstorming and throwing ideas as to like, who are the new athletes that are coming in? Like, what athlete camps and when are we going to start doing them? We really don't get many date nights. We'd like to get more. Come here. Yeah.
Jaxie's here.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
You want to say hi?
Hey, Jax.
Muscles?
Hey.
Show me muscles. Show me your muscles. Show me your muscles.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Hulk.
But usually, like, before Justin goes, I'm usually like, hey, we got to go get school supplies for Ivy. So let's make a little day. And we love to go see the Bellagio. They change that seasonally. That's like a little fun family friend thing to do. Like we usually like to try to do one or two little like family outings together right before he leaves, and then
It's tough right now because the kids are out of school, so they're with us 24/7. So it's just hard. It's hard, but it'll be nice. Like when I get back from the games, they both start school that week. So it'll be nice. Like I'll come back and we'll get to spend some time because she's not able to come to the games at all this year. In the past, she's been able to come, but this year because of school starting and then Ivy's gymnastics, she won't be able to come. So
we sneak afternoon dates.
Yeah.
Like coffee dates or like brunch before a meeting or whatever when we can.
And we don't have family here, so it's a scenario where it's tough. We do obviously some of the athletes look after them, which is great. But in general, it's they truly. I mean, they were with us at the gym today. They're there majority of the time. But when school comes up, I think it'll be a little bit easier. And it'll be nice coming back to when they're in school to be able to hang out with Ash a little bit.
I mean, this is probably the longest I've sat next to you.
Other than in the car.
Probably for the last 4 months, maybe.
One thing I hear about Vegas is it's easy to get to. The airport is really close and planes are flying in all the time.
As you can hear. Yeah, it's great. I feel like everything, we always look at each other like, how long does it take to get there? 15 minutes.
Like everything is 15 minutes
everything's
away.
pretty close.
Except for Alex's house.
That's true.
Alex's house is a solid 30 minutes.
Alex lives really far away. Really, really beautiful area.
Oh, it was fun to explore because it's
Vegas.
just like it's up in the northeast corner.
West.
So it's northwest corner, yes. And it's all getting, I mean, there's construction going on everywhere, but it's kind of like that's like where the city is now, and they're almost up against the mountains. So it's just there's lots of bigger lots out there, and the views of the mountains are gorgeous
Beautiful.
up there, and it's pretty. It was cool to explore. Great parks for the kids.
Great dog.
The dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I loved it. I loved looking at your posts. Oh,
what a great dog.
Dookie.
So good.
So
big too.
That's the part I loved about Vegas.
Yeah.
When we came out to your house that day, you could see a lake, you could see the mountains. Like that's what the cool part of Vegas was. I never knew that existed.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Because
beautiful.
I'd never been to Vegas till West Coast Classic.
Yeah, it's extremely picturesque. It's a lot more picturesque than people imagine. They just think it's the Strip. And that was part of the reason. Like when I came out here, I flew out here, and I was telling her because she we moved out here. She really was sight unseen.
I'd only been to the Strip.
She had only been to the Strip, and I came out here and looked at a bunch of houses. It was right a couple months into the pandemic, and I was just like, it's really beautiful, and she was like, okay, I trust you. And Carrie did too. Carrie was like, yeah, sure, let's go. I know. It's good.
Carrie's here to stay.
I guess I'm glad they trusted me, though. That's cool.
Carrie loves it. She's here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Her boyfriend Mitch is here to stay. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So since you brought up Mitch, I got to tell you, I interviewed him.
He's awesome.
Before
He's just Carrie Pierce's boyfriend. Okay.
That's it.
I know.
Right.
I coined that, by the way.
I know. I heard.
I'd interviewed you, Justin, right before I talked to him, and we went through your whole athlete lineup.
We didn't talk about
did
him.
not mention Mitch. And so when he got on, he's like, it was advertised as like Justin goes through all the athletes, and I'm like, finally, I'm on a podcast. They're talking about me, and I listened to the whole thing. Nope, they didn't talk about me.
That's so good.
So I just need to make sure we at least talk about Mitch
Oh, I love Mitch.
on this podcast.
Yeah, Mitch is great.
He's the best.
Great energy, like just phenomenal sense of humor, super dry humor.
So great. He tells people like it is. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
He's great. And it was really cool. Ricky was staying with him, and they bonded, and then he had Ricky, and then he had Ricky and Michelle, but they all bonded, and I mean, he's just a phenomenal dude, man. Everybody gets along with him. Everyone likes him, and he's also he's a great athlete.
Great athlete.
Yeah, phenomenal.
It's hysterical because like we've got this ongoing joke of him being Carrie Pierce's boyfriend, and he actually has gotten wrongly tagged on things. Like he was tagged as Ben Smith one time. We were dying. Like, I mean, that was going around the group chat.
So
He was tagged as someone
I
else
don't
too. And
know.
we're like, no, wrong person.
He's been tagged like 3 or 4 wrong people. It's so good. He's awesome. He's a great dude. And he's funny, man. He's got a little swagger to him, which I love. And he's sneaky though. Like you never know. Like you'll get a workout a week where like Mitch will just crush, and like when it's in his wheelhouse, like look out, But yeah, great guy, and he and Carrie they're just great. So it's so cute and really perfect for each other.
Perfect.
We love it. Yeah.
Did they meet out there in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He was living in Scottsdale, Arizona at the time, and there was a mutual friend that he had kind of come up and visited and introduced them, and the rest is history.
That's very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, when I talked to him, he said what they like to do is go get fajitas, and I was like, okay, that's an odd answer. And then I looked at his Instagram. They're always getting fajitas.
His favorite thing in the world to eat. She loved, first of all, like that was after every competition we went Mexican. She always got fajitas. There's a place that they love. I think it's Juan's Flaming Fajitas, which is their favorite.
I think
spot.
they're doing a tour around
to
try to find Vegas fajitas.
Yeah.
But they're great. Yeah. They're just a salt of the earth couple.
Love them.
So I'm curious on these like group chats that you might have with some of your athletes. Do you ever get some fun like banter / smack talk about like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Kiefer's pretty much the root of the majority of the jokes, I'd say.
Yeah, Kiefer's very snarky.
He's
so
snarky.
like,
So any chance that anyone can get to like jab at him,
Yeah.
they do.
yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Because the other day, Matt was videoing me because after they all left, and I was doing a EMOM with Ricky, and I was doing muscle ups and stuff, and so then Kiefer has to like make a comment about like, hey, coaches are supposed to work out between 9:30 and 11. And if you want, I can help you get prepared for the 60 to 64 division. And I was like, don't be mad, Kiefer, just because my muscle ups are much prettier than yours.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then of course he was like, he can dish it. And then the minute I dished it,
Oh, just kidding.
Oh man, he's like, that's me. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it's good. It's great. I mean, honestly,
True.
let's be honest.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we won't get into it, but the vibe right now is amazing.
Sure,
It's
absolutely.
It's really phenomenal. The best it's ever been, and just a phenomenal place for us to grow from. Like everybody, just super supportive and no drama, and it's really it's the best that it's ever been since we've been here, and I couldn't be more excited for where we are and where we're going to go, and the athletes we'll bring in. There's a lot of people who are interested, and we've already got a few commitments from some people coming next year, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch it grow. I mean, and just, there's always growing pains, and there's going to be things where you have to make adaptations and pivot, and it's great when sometimes you have to go through those hard times to get to the place where you need to go.
Yeah.
That's right. 100%.
Yeah. Growth in business is underestimated how hard it is.
Yes.
Growth you think is going to be the fun time. Growth is not the fun time.
That's hard.
One of my really good friends, I actually work with him in Beck Bodie with our wealth management firm. He's one of traders, and I was talking to him, and I was like, what do you think about this house? It's been a major dream of mine. He said something so great. He was like, growth and comfort do not happen at the same time. He said it is impossible to have both at the same time. And it's so true. It's like if we never grow outside of our comfort zone, like it's much harder to kind of grow the wings to be able to grow a little bit more. So that was like a really great takeaway that I needed to hear. And everything will be perfect once we get to this house.
I'm going to need you to remember that
Perfect.
and apply it to yourselves as your children get older.
You what?
I said, I'm going to need you to remember that and apply that thought process back to yourself as your children get older. Because
Oh.
It gets really hard and sad when they grow and you have to let go.
He just brought us a big bag of Play-Doh.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Here you go, buddy.
Want to play? Here you go. But yeah, everything's great, man. It's going to be exciting to get in the house. I'm definitely like kind of over gypsy life right now. So I think just getting settled in our place and making it our home, and that's going to be really cool. Plus, the new house is super convenient to Ivy's gymnastics and the gym, so that's going to be great.
Yeah. And the airport.
So let's talk about your two athletes that you're taking to the games.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
So let's hit it, right? First, I want to talk about the athlete that almost made it, because I think she was off everybody's radar.
Christine
Best.
Yeah, what a year.
What a performance in the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, she's a freaking monster.
An awesome person.
Yeah, amazing person.
Like awesome person.
I said this year that I think that the best coaching move that I made all year this year was agreeing to take her on, because I almost didn't.
She was relentless with you.
Yeah, she was. And that's kind of the way she is.
Yeah, life. That's good. That's a good skill.
She just kept checking back with me, because I was like, I don't know. I'm really busy. I'm not sure I can give you what you need. And
she should have started with me. I mean, Ricky did. So it makes people's transition a little smoother.
Yeah, she had a hell of a year and was so close. But I think I look back and I say she truly maximized her year. Like, she really, I mean, obviously you're always a little bit, really, you're always a little bit disappointed about the season ending, right? Like, if it's not the ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. But she had an unbelievable season, and she was really happy and felt like she took this huge step forward. She's not a spring chicken. She's been doing this a while, and she had a couple of down years, and this was something for her that she was really excited about. This improvement that she saw, and now I think we're on a great path, and I know she's super excited for next year, and I'm excited for her. So yeah, she's awesome, man.
So yeah, I got to watch her at semis. Unbelievable performance, way above what I think any expectation of her was outside of your community. Let's move to Ricky.
I'm just gonna chime in. One thing is that, like, over all of these years, seeing Justin coach, like, all caliber athletes, right? Like, people that have just walked in the gym and foundations that haven't worked out in years, and all the way up to someone like Carrie, who had been at the games and stuff before. Like, one thing that has always stood the test of time is that no matter what athlete Justin works with, I feel like their growth as an athlete, like, it just compounds itself in time of him working with them. And it's like such an amazing thing to see that I feel like is such an undervalued coaching thing, because it takes time, right? But like, without a doubt, I have seen so many people like far outshine like their goals and their aspirations because he's been able to pull that out of them, and it's been, and I think she's just another example of that,
Thanks.
Yeah. And then leading into Alex, because Alex is like way ahead of her time.
Yeah.
I mean
was she, was that what her expectation was? Was she expecting that she would? I didn't. Yeah.
Her trajectory, like in our minds, wasn't. I mean,
her goal, when she set her goal this year, her goal was to make top 10 at semis. That was at the start of the year was her goal, and I thought that was realistic. And then
when
I would say,
then you saw the Lakeless rope climb.
No, but I mean, her goal at the beginning of the season was top 10.
Okay.
My goal for her, once we got through quarterfinals, when I started to kind of pump the whole idea that, like, listen, this is not a fluke. You're actually this good. And if you start to believe that you can do this, I think that we can set our sights on the games. I don't think that's unrealistic. now some things have to break your way. There are still a few movements that if that came up, like if it had been a snatch complex instead of a clean complex, it would have been a big challenge, right? Like now, her snatch compared to where it was it's astounding. She's
starting to squat.
She went from beginning of the year, her max snatch was 170. She just hit a 185, right? So you're talking about a 15-pound increase in a year is at this level. That's phenomenal, right? She just PR'd her back squat 35 pounds from 285 to 320. Like she's still in that stage where she's basically new to this. And I think we're going to see her biggest growth from this year to next year and the following year. I think the next 2 years are where you're going to see her biggest growth. And I think you're going to start to see where this year she's going to go. And I think she'll make some noise on some events. And then I think there'll be some events that, are like, oh shit, like these are things I need to work on. But I think, she's got a legitimate chance, I think, to finish top 20 this year. But I think moving forward, looking at her trajectory and her talent, her ability to do hard things is far ahead of where it is from most people at her age. Like the ring muscle ups, legless rope climbs, deficit handstand push-ups, things that it normally takes people years and years and years to work on. She's already got.
Well, she just
and now it's some of the other things.
She worked on the parallel handstand.
Yeah,
that Adrian Voss did.
Yeah,
she done it for 2 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah, she's got it. But she's a great athlete. So, but I really think that that she has an opportunity to make some noise because she has home runs. And at the games, if they dial up a movement or a couple of movements that for you are phenomenal, then you've got an opportunity to do a home run, to hit a home run. And those are big points at the games.
Bench press.
Yeah, that would be big. Bench press.
So, and let's remind the audience, she's 20.
Yes. She'll be 21 Monday.
Woo!
Wow. Yeah, Monday at the games.
At the games. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But she has the maturity of.
Yeah, she does.
She's awesome.
Yeah, my daughter just turned 21 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
did you share
when
beer
you say
Yeah, did
We
you have a
did.
drink with her? Okay,
Oh,
good.
there you go.
we did.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when you say she's able to do hard things, her life has been hard.
Yes.
Working out has got to be the easy part almost.
Yeah, for her. Yeah. And I think that's prepared her mentally for a lot of this stuff, and yeah, I mean, it's been, what a wonderful story and just a wonderful person. And, I always say it's always nice when good things happen to good people. And she's one of those examples, and now she's surrounded by a crew that just loves her to death. And she has everybody's full support, and
her husband's awesome, Jake.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they're all, and like today, everyone's doing, but Ricky left. So everyone jumped in on the workout with her, trying to prep her, specifically Carrie, who's coming to the gym a
Carrie's
lot more to try to get her ready and kind of taking her under her wing, which is really cool.
And Kyra's been doing a lot of things she hates just to help her prep.
Aw.
Which is awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so it's great, man. She's doing great, and what a phenomenal year, and I know she wants to go and make some noise there, so I'm excited for her. And there's no pressure on her at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people are like, she's a rookie, there's no expectations, but like I said, there are some things that she's just unbelievably good at that tend to be really hard for people, that if those things come up, man, she'll make some noise.
And we saw that. Go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, she has been she is now one of my favorites, right? Like, and I don't know if it's because I got the color commentary for the entire Granite Games from you and Kiefer, standing up above there the whole weekend. But now, like, I just want her to do so well. And I think it's probably her story more than anything. I just want it for her. And she's just so nice.
It's a very likable person.
Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we saw Ricky and the nerves before semis, right? So how have you now prepared him for, and I'm sure, I mean, he's for this coming out back at the games, like how have you prepared him mentally for those nerves and to attack that aspect of it?
Well, I'm really hoping that the nerves that kind of came into play at Torian were more about getting to the games. There only being 3 spots there, and the expectation and the pressure on him from the community that, like, if this guy doesn't make the games, oh my God, the trolls are just gonna go crazy, right? Yeah. So the fact that he got the monkey off his back and he made it back to the games,
proved himself both with Dubai and
he now has the opportunity to, I think, kind of let it hang loose and go. And there's only 6 events at semis, and it's with Tori only having 3 spots, the pressure was unbelievably high for those guys. Now you're talking about what? There's going to be 14 to 17 events. A lot of running, you got to assume, like a lot of like grunt work events, a lot of things he's historically very good at and things he's very good at. I got to see it live and in person. I mean, there's a couple things he did here that you just look at it and you're like, that's not normal like that. Oh my God. Yeah. We did a sprint duathlon, run, bike, run in like 110 degree weather. And he had a professional time. Like, if you would have entered a professional event, he had a professional winning time. It's just astounding, like how good he is at that stuff. And I think he's a lot better at the things that he used to struggle at, like a lot of the strength events, 1 rep maxis, high rep thrusters. So I think he's more prepared than he's ever been, and his body's feeling good. He had a little elbow thing that we've really taken care of, and he's feeling great. So, we're super excited, and I think, I think he's got the opportunity to do really well, man. I know, he's a lot of people are picking him like around 10th, but I think depending on what comes out, I mean, I think he's in the mix to do serious damage at the games. I think he's in really good form.
I don't know if it's just me not being around him a lot, but it seems like the negativity around him has gone away.
I don't think so here's the thing. Like, I think that there are always going to be people who are kind of miserable with their own lives and project on other people and just latch on and, but I think for the most part, I will tell you this right now. If you hang out with Ricky,
oh my God,
you'll fall in love with him. I mean, he is
the most lovable person ever.
He came here and everyone is obsessed with him. Like, he's just that guy. Like, he is, he walks into a room, and if you hang out with him for 10, 15 minutes, you can't help but just like gravitate towards him. There's nothing about him that puts you off. Everything about him is like, he's funny, he's nice, he's welcoming, he gets along with everybody. He's a coach's dream. Like, he is absolutely phenomenal.
And he's got the coolest girlfriend ever.
Yeah, Michelle's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. But he came here, and when he left, everyone was like, no. And now, so they're talking, and I think he's going to spend a big chunk of the year here. So I think we're going to look at him splitting time between Oz and here. I think he'll spend a good 5-6 months here next year, which will be awesome. Kat, we miss you, Kat. Yeah. Well, listen, next year, he's planning, I think, on being here for the Open and the quarterfinals. So maybe we can, sneak you guys out for some of that stuff, and you guys can come and hang. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I also think our country is a very forgiving country in the sports world. Yeah, I'm not talking to politics or any of that stuff, right. But
I also think, especially with how many recent people have been popped, I think
I was just about to say that.
I think people are going to be and again, this just proves that Ricky was kind of the lash dog of getting the brunt of everything back in the day. And I mean, listen, this is going to be, he's going to be one hell of a tough act to follow to do his 4 years and come back and do what he's going to do in Madison right now. It's going to be like an unbelievable story.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he served his time, and
absolutely,
he's passed every drug test since then. And I mean, here's the deal: like,
I don't even think he takes like
no, he won't take any
pre-workout or
supplements.
protein.
I'm sure he won't. Yeah,
No.
Water.
But he's just it was a great move. Like I would be happier with with us coming together, and it's been a phenomenal athlete coach marriage for sure.
Always the
So
bride.
then it was just announced that Allison was named captain of the demo team again.
Yeah.
Yay.
I don't know. I mean, Paul Tremblay would have been a hard act to follow, but she has done it amazingly.
She
and
is.
I'm so happy that she gets to go back and do that.
Yeah, she's just Allie's awesome. I mean, everything about her habits, she's so meticulous about things. I mean, it makes sense. She's just she's in her element there doing that type of stuff. I always say, like, I think she's going to be an incredible coach one day, when she decides to be. But and she's so good across the board at everything. She's a really good CrossFitter. Like, she's good. So they throw stuff at her, and she's like, okay, I can do it. I can do it. Her movements are phenomenal. I mean, it's one of the reasons why she's on the main site, right? Like demoing movements. So
I love it. This is my everyday life at work.
Yeah, you're getting just a little taste. Of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was going to tell you. So when we talked to Kiefer, I'd asked him, I said, hey, did you go and get your nails painted or go and get any piercings or any of that stuff too? And he said, it was my idea. And Justin got all the credit for it.
Well, that's because he did his toenails and no one saw them. So, if you listen, here's my thing. Like, if you want to get your toenails and then you're going to cover them for the entire week and no one gets to see them, sorry, bro. Like, that's the way it works. You know what I mean? You could say it was your idea, but when you it's just your toes and you're going to be a wuss about it, then, you're not going to get the glory. That's the way it works.
Kiefer's just got to realize it's always the bridesmaid. He's in the bridesmaid club with me.
Oh. He's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
We love Kiefer.
It was great talking to him.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He's a smart guy. He's just an absolutely phenomenal programmer. I mean, like, I'm actually blown away at how adept he is at it and how fast. And there are some times when I just get writer's block. Like, I just after semis, and there are certain times of the year with the kids and this and that where I'm just like, oh, he's like, God. and Kiefer just like pumps it out. It is really a gift. It's phenomenal. So it's nice. I mean, it's so nice, and he's so good at it. And then, I think it's a good mix, the two of us, with my emotion and his, kind of even keel practicality. It makes for a very good mix.
When we talked to him, he said that he came out to Vegas to try it out for a year and that he just signed a new lease. So how excited are you that he has decided to stay on there in Vegas?
Do you really have a choice?
I never believed him with the whole thing of
AIV.
I'm going to try it out. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I don't think he really had a choice. I don't think Ash was going to let him.
I was going to say, I think Ashley put down the hammer and was like,
I pretty much signed his lease for him too while he was traveling for 75.
I don't think he really had a choice. I know, and Kiefer he's a Northeast boy. He loves that Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire area. So I know it's tough for him because he loves Boston. And he likes like super green and seasons and all that shit.
But you can fly to that stuff whenever you want.
Yeah.
Airport's close.
But yeah, I think it's a really good. I think the crew here is great, and I think he really enjoys it. And so I know it'll make it sound like we forced him to stay, but I think he actually likes it.
Yeah.
And he's got a really cool new cool apartment complex with a bunch of amenities that he probably won't use.
Never use.
Yeah. So I know he's very excited about that.
Well, I hope one of them is a working smoke alarm.
Yeah.
And for our whole last interview, you heard.
Yeah,
beep.
the cheap
I kept
thing.
going
Every
and
30
looking around my
seconds.
house during the
He
interview.
was on coffee pods and wads too, and the same thing. The chirping the whole time. I was like, "You didn't get the chirping fixed?" He's like, "Honestly, I don't even hear it now." I was laughing. I was like, "That's all I heard the whole time. I didn't hear anything else."
I'll get him some AA batteries for a
Yeah, it was
housewarming.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he also said that Ashley was trying to be Miss Matchmaker to get him to come out as well.
I mean, I pull out all the steps. I find out what people's types are, find out, if they like pools, restaurants. I mean, it's not that hard. It's like,
Fajitas. I mean,
it's easy. It's an easy fit. You just, find out what people like, and
There's
then
a
you're
lot
like,
of
oh,
stuff
hey,
here,
Vegas
too.
has this,
Yeah.
and this.
Great restaurants,
Then we're
got
good.
gambling, shows, it's got pools, it's got great weather, mountains, rock climbing.
We're gonna have
hiking.
a professional basketball team. It's gonna have a professional baseball team. We've got a
Yeah,
hockey
it's
team.
all
We've got
coming.
Devontae Adams playing for the Raiders
yeah,
now.
She's so excited about that.
How's that feel?
I think he wanted to go. Listen, if you want to go, if that's what makes you happy, you go.
I think if it were
Anything that weakens the Packers.
Las Vegas,
It's kind of
she'd have
cool
been
that he's here,
pissed
though.
off.
yeah.
But the fact she gets to watch him here is pretty cool.
So here where I will. That's going to be really interesting to watch. It's going to be fun to see how successful he is without Aaron Rodgers. Now, granted, he's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but those two just had, they had their connection. So, and I've seen it year after year that Aaron Rodgers can really he could probably make me look like Devontae Adams sometimes
Yeah,
too.
I don't think so.
Well, you've never seen me play football.
That's true. That's true.
I can't wait till that guy retires. Anyway, I watched you guys on, or not you guys, but Justin on Kettlebells and Cocktails. I was shocked that John did not know that you were a singer
No.
Yeah,
until he researched it.
yeah. And then Nikki still didn't know. But yeah, but it was cool, like that he figured it out, and I appreciated the fact that as a musician, he was like, I turned it on and I expected to be like, oh, okay, here we go, another like musician or singer who says they can sing who's probably gonna suck, and then he was just like, oh, okay. That's always funny to me when people hear it and they're like, wait a minute, like you were a real singer. I was like, yeah.
Is this how you won Ashley over?
Not really. No,
No,
she kind
I
of caught
thought-
me on the tail end of my musical career. I mean, it overlapped for a little while, but by the time that Ash and I met, I was doing more like event band stuff. I wasn't doing my original stuff.
I fell in
But
love
you
with
came
him
and
at the
saw
gym.
me. You came and saw me. I saw a couple shows.
Sweaty in a t-shirt.
She saw the beginning of the CrossFit. She actually was really a really integral part of when I opened up my own place, the first Dynamics, and she was one of the trainers that came on board and had a lot of input, into that place prior to. She had a lot of input in that, and but yeah, no, we met in the gym.
In the gym.
Yeah.
He cornered me at the water fountain one
boy,
day.
that's her story.
It's true.
We had been like winking
from
from
across.
across the gym.
But that's where I wanted
few
it
times.
to stay, because it's like, oh, there's the hot guy at the gym. Lets you like push out a couple more reps. Right? I'm like, as soon as I know his
Purposely
name,
stretches right in front of me.
but as soon as you know his name, I'm like, oh,
Wait, we already know she's persistent and relentless. So
Gosh. As Jack Smith said. Oh my God.
oh my dad.
But Ashley also has a big musical background.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, musical theater major. No one wants to listen to the stuff that I sing, though.
That's not true.
I go to theater all the time.
Yeah.
Amy goes all the time.
Who's in Les Mis?
They did Les Mis twice.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, Wicked Fontaine.
If you were in Wicked or Hamilton,
Yeah.
Amy probably would have saw you.
Yeah.
She goes all over the country to see those two.
Oh, really?
Not really.
Well,
You went to Houston.
I did go to Houston, but not all over the country.
Jackson is now pressing all the buttons on the grill.
Oh, that sounds like a safe idea.
Yeah. Honestly, though, they've been very, very
They've
good
been
for these
very
last
tame.
50 minutes.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
clay that are mushed into everything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally all over the pavers. Yeah. So that would be great to clean up.
Well, I'm so
Speaking of-
excited that I get to see you, Justin and Madison. I'm sorry I won't get to see you, Ashley, but then hopefully I'll just get to make a trip to Vegas and hang out.
But don't be surprised if you move here then.
I keep telling Ashley she needs an assistant, but she hasn't brought the salary up to my range yet.
Oh.
I'm trying. We're trying.
Mm-hmm.
I just totally lost track of the question I was going to ask, but the grill. Justin, it was discovered that he can cook during COVID
Yep.
on an outdoor grill.
Just anything.
Just cooking anything.
Cooking anything.
Anything.
He just started cooking, and I was like,
Okay. So I went through a phase during single life, like
I didn't know.
where I used to cook a lot. It became a really fun hobby of mine. But then once we opened a gym and we're living at the gym, and there's just no time for that stuff. So once COVID happened and we weren't in the gym, then it was I just kind of picked it up again, and but she didn't know that I could cook, that it's a little bit of a talent, I think. And so yeah, it's fun. I love it. I can't wait. Our new kitchen's awesome. So I can't wait to get in our new kitchen and cook and get the grills back, and because right now it's not, we're definitely,
Everything's in
it's
storage.
not incredibly conducive for cooking. The gypsy life.
Yeah.
Is the cooking part of the recruitment of new athletes?
It definitely helps. See, he cooks. I bake. I love to bake.
Yeah, most of the new athletes come out, we'll invite over, and I'll do some steaks, and she'll bake cookies. Doesn't hurt.
No. Feed athletes. That's a good move.
It certainly doesn't hurt. Yeah.
So when are you getting to Madison?
Saturday. Yeah, we have a individual check-in Sunday. Earliest it's ever been. So yeah, I know, it's crazy. So I got to be there on Saturday, check-in Sunday, coaches briefing Monday.
Yikes.
This will be the first CrossFit Games not programmed by Dave Castro.
Yes, it will.
How excited, nervous are you?
Interested. Very interested to see what happens. Bob's been around, so I feel like he'll be okay. When am I leaving Madison? I'm leaving on the 8th, Monday, the day after the games to come back. So I'll be.
Which is another reason why I'm not going, because they start school so ungodly early here.
Yeah.
IB starts school on the 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to that, Boz, I'm curious to see. It's a new regime. I'm actually cautiously optimistic. I had a call with Justin Berg and Ari a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, it was last week or week before.
I have no idea what day it is.
They're really open to a lot more ideas, and they want feedback, and they're interested in discussing how to make the sport better and what we can do to push this thing forward, which was never, that was never on the table before. It was kind of a one-man show. He was judge, jury, and executioner, and I like Dave. We went through our shit. He blocked me on Instagram because over the years I had some things to say, and that's fine. But I'm very, obviously there were some things that they had some issues this year on a few things, but I feel like we've never been asked to give feedback, to send them a list of things, that we think can make the sport better. And I know they spoke to all the training camps, and I know that they have spoken to a lot of athletes and coaches. And so, I was happy to be a part of that, and I'm happy to be a part of the ongoing discussion. And, I'm obviously honored that they are interested in my opinion. Matt was saying, the new move?
Oh, I made Ricky do GHD wall balls the other day.
Yeah, we've had them practice the parallel L sit to handstands. We've been practicing.
Ricky just did 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's already phenomenal at them. But
he's like the crazier shit throw at me.
Yeah, he's really good at all that kind of awkward stuff and high skilled stuff. Maybe legless pegboards, that might be interesting.
Maybe 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I once did a comp.
If they could bring coaches out, that would be phenomenal for that one.
I once did a comp that we had to do basketball shots.
Wow,
that's funny.
Yeah,
they made him throw a baseball.
Yeah,
there was a lot of CrossFitters that looked horribly unathletic.
Man, that looks so bad on television. That's the only thing to me is like, you need to be careful because it's still a spectator sport and we're still trying to grow it. You're still trying to gain fans. You don't want to do things that just make people look terrible.
Like even
and uncoordinated and not athletic. So I hope it's not going to be too.
Was it the ring
handstand push-ups?
I mean, it was like a cool thought, but it looked.
Well, it was cool when you look like Carrie Pierce doing it.
Right.
But Carrie Pierce won the event. When you look like 90% of the field and they're, you've got this unbelievable hyperextension and you're doing basically just like a bench press on rings. I mean, it was just awful.
Yeah.
So hopefully, here's the thing. You can test, you can create a lot of tests to determine who's the fittest on earth and not make them look stupid.
Burpee pegboards.
So hopefully they won't make them look stupid. That's my hope. Yeah.
So I'm optimistic because what they put out for the last chance qualifier made me want it televised so bad.
Last chance qualifier was, I thought it was excellent. I thought the programming was very well rounded. I loved the fact that in a 4-test competition, you didn't have a max lift, which I thought was huge. But I will say this is as good as the last chance qualifier was as bad as the age group semifinal was. That was awful and just unbelievably strength biased and big person biased and not CrossFit at all. And I thought that was a throwaway. So they made up for it with last chance. But, right now to me, like when you're talking about online events like postseason, they're 1-1. They had one win and one epic fail, in my opinion. So I'm curious to see what happens with the games.
I got a million questions, but I want to leave with this one question. And it's my idea to grow the sport. In the off season, instead of the invitational they used to have, you have a training camp showdown.
Yeah, so last year, Filthy 50 was trying to do that. And then the venue got sequestered for COVID boosters by the government. So they lost the venue and they lost the event. But what they were trying to do was like Formula One. They were trying to do where you had individual competition, but it was an individual competition of that where you had 2 athletes, 2 males, 2 females who represented your training camp. And so there were 2 leaderboards. There was the individual leaderboard, and then there was the leaderboard. The camps. You got a certain amount of points for where people finished on the leaderboard, and that counted towards the camp. And there was a bonus for the training camps.
Oh, nice.
So it was a very cool idea, and I agree with you. I think it's phenomenal. I don't know if they've got the support or the money or the sponsorship behind it to do it. But to me, that makes a ton of sense with the way that the sport's gone. I think it would be fantastic. The only drawback is,
When do you do it?
well, no, you've got a couple people who are top 5 in the sport who aren't part of training camps, right? Like Justin Darris,
Yeah.
unless Adam makes a training camp, which he could now. He's got 3 or 4 athletes, right?
Yeah.
You've got Fikowski. I guess he's no longer Brute. So I don't know. Vellner is part of, obviously, he's DECA. So yeah, you could do that. But there are a few there that aren't necessarily part of training camps. And then you got to worry about like the ones that aren't part of training camps. You just got to worry about like somebody like Mayhem who'll just buy them for the weekend. Like,
right.
We'll pay you for the weekend, say you're Mayhem and come and we'll just win. It's like,
yeah,
not again anything against Mayhem, but they're just powerful enough to do that.
Right.
Like we wouldn't be able to do that. Like we wouldn't be able to just pay you for the weekend. So we'd be
like the ACC did with Notre Dame.
Maybe you could do a draft. There could be a draft.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that would be cool. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it's really cool. The idea.
I'd be very good at draft picks. Getting people here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I actually think now that, moving forward in the CrossFit Games, I think athletes should have the option of being of either representing their affiliate or representing their training camp. I mean, team is a little different. It's a little different, I guess, but at the end of the day, like, somebody like our athletes are going to feel like they want to wear Underdogs on their jerseys. You know what I mean? So that's another, that's something that it's an idea, obviously, that I'm bringing to them. That's essentially like, hey, the affiliates are great, but at the end of the day, like these individual athletes now are starting to train at training camps. They may not even be affiliated. Would you rather them have unaffiliated, or would you rather them, have a training camp, representing? So
I also think CrossFit kind of needs to make up its mind of, does it really want to be considered a professional sport or not?
Yes.
And I think that's,
that's a whole nother issue.
But I think what we're lacking is a lot of the individuals are really nice, right? When you're out in public, they're very good. And I know behind the scenes it could be different, right? But for the most part, everybody I've met, sans a few, have been super nice. You need someone to hate, like the Packers. Like the reason football's fun is because I hate the Packers. Right? Someone to root against.
You need rivalries, I think.
Yeah,
right.
There you go. There you go.
And I think that if you started to get events where you had athletes representing the training camps and there was rewards, and by rewards generally like monetary rewards, right, for the camps that do the best, I think you would create rivalries very quickly. And it doesn't have to be contentious necessarily, but people are going to have their favorite, just like their favorite training camp, just like they're going to have their favorite football team or soccer. Like you look at the Champions League, right? Those fans tend to get a little rowdy towards each other. That's certainly not a bad thing.
The only one rowdy against the Packers in this conversation has been Scott. So.
Yeah, well,
Bears fan.
The Bears and the Packers, yeah.
But it's not contentious. I still love Ashley.
Right.
Right. I hate her team.
I get it. And I think that would be.
I love the Bears because they make us look great.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting moving forward, the idea of doing more things, as a camp, competitions and, being represented as that, or having some, bonuses or things like that for the camps that do the best. I think it's a cool idea for sure.
I think it's a great point about, instead of affiliates being aligned with your training camp, because let's be real, these athletes that are going to the CrossFit Games are not doing classes.
No,
but
not.
the thing is that, like, because we're training at Camp Rhino, a lot of people, like to come and see the environment, see the gym, like that's what's cool too. So it's still like mutually beneficial for the affiliates,
Yeah.
But I think the athletes on the whole feel a sense of loyalty now a little bit more to the camps,
yes,
and to their coaches, and they want to represent that, and they feel like, hey, this is what I want to wear on my jersey. It's not necessarily, the gym, although I appreciate that I'm able to work out at the gym, but that's not necessarily my,
especially if you're doing remote coaching,
right.
That's you. What if you're training in your garage, right? I mean, there are some that do that, so yeah, it's an interesting.
Yeah, Underdogs looks a whole lot cooler than unaffiliated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a blast as always. We're past the hour. The kids were awesome.
Great.
And I know you're taking them to the park after this.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up with you, Justin, in Madison.
I'll see you when you move here, Scott.
All right, cool. A couple months.
I'll see you.
My day job keeps going the way it is. Could be real soon.
Love it. Oh.